Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We were having some technical issues. We'll call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Al, can you start us off with roll call, please?
Again, this is roll call for the city commission meeting. Lost my call.
We're having another little technical difficulty for those in the audience. Al's mic isn't working at the moment. Here we go.
Okay, this is roll call for the city commission meeting of October 12th. Benson.
She was there.
Okay, looks like everybody's with us again. We'll start again, and this is roll call. Benson. Okay. Okay, we're going to try one more time. This is roll call for the city commission meeting of October 12th. Benson.
Benson here.
Benson is present. Brunig.
Brunig here.
Brunig is present. Sarda.
Sarda here.
Sarda is present. Mybom.
Mybom is here.
Mybom's present. Miner.
Miner's present.
Miner's present. Mosier.
Mosier here.
Mosier's present. Schramm.
Schramm here.
Schramm is present. Weber.
Weber's here.
Weber's present. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson present.
Mayor Johnson's present. City Manager Leon.
Leon here.
City Manager Leon is present. Deputy City Attorney Bo Barrett.
Present.
Deputy City Attorney Bo Barrett is present.
You have before you the minutes of the work session of September 28th, as well as the regular meeting of September 28th. What is your pleasure?
Weber moves.
Schramm second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any commission discussion of the minutes? Al, roll call.
Okay, and this is roll call for the minutes of September 28th. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber.
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson.
Benson aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig.
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Miner.
Miner aye.
Miner is aye. Mosier.
Mosier, aye.
Mosier is aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. Minutes passed 9-0.
You have before you the schedule of bills. What is your pleasure?
Sarda moves, we pay the bills.
Benson second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion of the bills? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission about our bills? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
We have no comments on YouTube.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
This is roll call on the schedule of bills. Weber.
Weber's aye.
Weber's aye. Benson.
Benson aye.
Benson's aye. Brunig.
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda aye.
Sarda's aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Miner.
Miner aye.
Miner's aye. Mosier.
Mosier, aye.
Mosier's aye. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm's aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson's aye. Schedule of bills passes 9-0.
Now we have a proclamation for Careers in Construction Month, and this was brought to us by the Home Builders Association. Unfortunately, none of them could join us this evening, but I know some of them are watching the proceedings on YouTube tonight. So whereas Careers in Construction Month is an annual month designated to help increase public awareness of the opportunities available in construction trades professions, and whereas during the month, employers, associations, and schools are encouraged to conduct job fairs, panel discussions, and local community events to inform students of the vast employment opportunities in construction. Whereas the construction industry is one of our nation's largest industries, employing more than 5 million individuals in the U.S. And whereas we are pleased to honor the construction trades professionals and the critical role they play in the development of Yankton and the state of South Dakota. And whereas through a collaborative effort that reaches policymakers as well as local educators and high school students, our goal is to effectively address some of the issues that have contributed to chronic labor shortages and misperceptions of careers in construction, to develop a skilled workforce for the future. And whereas the Lewis and Clark Home Builders Association and the Yankton School District are dedicated to enriching the educational experience of students by offering them firsthand exposure to the real world of the building industry through internships, educational programming, and networking opportunities. Now, therefore, I, Nathan Johnson, Mayor of the City of Yankton, do hereby proclaim October 2020 as Careers in Construction Month in the City of Yankton, and I encourage all citizens to join me in this special observance. Let's applaud that.
You know, Mayor Johnson, I would like to just give a shout out to Yankton School District. You mentioned them there. Our son has been taking pretty much, I think, all the building trade classes that they can at the high school and absolutely loves them and is considering a career in building trades, carpentry, or whatever because of it. So a shout out to them as well as the rest of the home builders, but a great job for what Yankton School is doing to bring awareness to that profession.
Yeah, and last week I had the opportunity to meet those students. Your son was there. They were touring a construction site and getting some of that hands-on education that we mentioned here. So thank you to the school district and for the Home Builders Association and the contractors and builders who helped make that happen. All right, next is the city manager's report.
I got a really bad grade in industrial arts. So I wish we would have had more home builder type classes where I went to high school. But I did well in civics, so here you find me tonight telling you our mission, which is to provide exemplary experiences, services, and spaces that create opportunities for everyone to learn, engage, and thrive. I don't have a lot for you this evening, commissioners, but I did want to mention Al sent me over some numbers today. He sent me the sales tax numbers. I haven't gotten them to you yet, but I will do so likely tomorrow morning. All 3 pennies for September, so this is August sales reported in September, were down 4.85%, so negative 4.85%. We're still in the black, 2.16% for the year cumulative to date. So that doesn't surprise us because of riverboat days and it not occurring this year. In fact, we were a little surprised it wasn't worse than it was in that regard. However, still pretty strong in other areas to be up that amount for the year cumulative. Now, Triple B is a little different story, as you'd probably anticipate. They were down in the third penny. We were down 9.8%, which pulls our year average down a little bit further to negative 5.72%. So that's where we are now. We're still hanging in there in terms of the top 10 first-class cities. Hopefully, we can continue to now pull back up here with all the things that are going on locally. We'll see. On your consent calendar this evening, we have establishing the date for the second meeting in December. We typically do that the Friday before the Christmas holiday, and we have that in City Hall, as you know, and then there's a potluck event. I don't think any of that's going to happen this year. So I would recommend that we still go with a noon meeting, but that maybe we consider that for the second Monday of December. It is 21st. I know some people won't be here, but if we think we have enough of us to be here at noon, or we could do it in the evening like a regular meeting too, but I know sometimes it's nice there's always lots of things to do that time of year. Although this year might be different, so we'll leave that up to you. But that's what I would recommend since that's our regularly scheduled day. Otherwise, I don't have anything else to say unless you have questions for me.
Questions for the city manager? If not, we will move on to public appearances. So this is a time when members of the public can address the commission about items not listed on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone in the audience here tonight? No? Okay. We have one audience member and he shook his head no. So we'll go to Dave Mingo. Is there anyone on YouTube who wishes to address the commission about something not on tonight's agenda?
We do not have any requests for discussion about non-agenda items.
Thank you very much. Then we will move on to the consent item agenda. Number one is setting the date of October 26th at 6 p.m. in the Regional Technical Education Center, Commission Chambers, for our next work session. And the proposed topic of discussion would be the Summit Activity Center. If the commission remembers, during our budget session, we discussed the budget situation there and pulling together some data so we can be better informed as we continue those discussions. Number two is, again, what the city manager just discussed, which is establishing the date and time of the second city commission meeting in December. Did we want to go with noon on December 21st? Seems to work for everyone in the room. Is there anyone online who would like us to think about a different time?
And Mayor, let's just confirm that we'll plan for that in this meeting room so we have room to space.
Right, we'll do it in our regular meeting space. Hearing no dissent, do you want us to vote on that then? No? Okay.
I don't need you to.
All right, then we will move on to old business. Number one is consideration of memorandum 20-186 regarding the request for a special events malt beverage on-sale retailer's license for October 24th from the Yankton Girls Softball Association. This would be for a cornhole fundraiser. What is your pleasure?
If I may interject here, I do know that event has been canceled.
Oh,
Again, association with the president of the board, but they are no longer having that event. So I don't know if anybody contacted anybody, but
If they did, I didn't hear that today, but if the commission wants to act on it, it wouldn't make any difference, or we could just pull it from the agenda.
well, since it wasn't pulled and we haven't, I trust your source on it, but since we're here, let's vote on it. So what, do we have if we can get a motion?
Schramm, so moved. Brunig, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this item? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
No YouTube comments.
Thank you. Al, roll call, please.
Okay, and this is roll call on old business item 3-1. Benson.
Benson, aye.
Benson's aye. Brunig.
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda, aye.
Sarda's aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor.
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mosier.
I'll abstain from voting. My husband's president of the association.
Mosier abstains. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber.
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson's aye. Motion passes 8-0 with one abstention.
Number two under old business is consideration of memorandum 20-187 regarding the request for a special events retail on-sale liquor license for November 14th through November 15th, 2020 from Boomers, Inc. for an event at Zombies Realm at 101 East 3rd Street. What is your pleasure?
Mosier moves the memorandum.
Benson, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any commission discussion on this item? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this item? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
No YouTube comments.
Thank you. Al, roll call, please.
Excuse me. This is roll call on a old business item 3-2. Brunig.
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom?
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor?
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mosier?
Mosier, aye.
Mosier is aye. Schramm?
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber?
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson?
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Mayor Johnson?
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson's aye. Old business item 3-2 passes 9-0.
Number 3 under old business is consideration of memorandum 20-188 regarding ordinance number 1040, which is a rezoning from I-1 industrial to B3 central business at, on the south side of the 600 block of East 4th Street, and Mona's LLC is the owner. What is your pleasure?
Minor moves.
Sarda,
Mosier, second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this item?
I just have a question. I don't know if it goes to Dave Mingo, but basically the only reason for this rezone is just so that some sort of residential housing component could be placed there, or not residential, but like rental? Is that basically the gist of why we are rezoning this property?
So 2 reasons for the rezoning is, one is it matches with our overall long-term goal in the comprehensive plan of transitioning the industrial areas out of that part of the town south of 4th Street. And this is one of those old industrial zoning remnants. And the second reason is, yes, having it zoned B3 central business does allow a residential downtown component for occupancies, where the industrial zoning district would not allow any downtown residential occupancies.
Perfect, thank you.
Any more commission discussion? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this item? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
There are no YouTube comments.
Thank you. Al, roll call, please.
This is roll call on old business item 3-3. Sarda?
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom?
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor?
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mosier?
Mosier, aye.
Mosier's aye. Schramm?
Schramm, abstain. Business Association.
Schramm abstains. Weber?
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson?
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig?
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Mayor Johnson?
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. Old business item 3-3 passes 8-0 with 1 abstention.
Number 4 under old business is consideration of memorandum 20-189 regarding ordinance number 1040, which is a rezoning from B2 highway business to R3 two-family residential for the south side of the 1600 block of West 25th Street. Kelly Nielsen is the president and the owner. What is your pleasure?
Benson, so moved. Weber seconds.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any commission discussion? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this item? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
No YouTube comments.
Thank you. Al, roll call, please.
This is roll call on old business item 3-4. Mybom?
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor?
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mosier?
Mosier, aye.
Mosier's aye. Schramm?
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber?
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson?
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig?
Brunig, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda?
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mayor Johnson?
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. Old business item 3-4 passes 9-0.
Moving on to new business. Number 1 is consideration of memorandum 20-190 regarding resolution 20-71, which is a plat of the 2800 block of Arlington Avenue. Kirby Hofer Construction Company is the owner. What is your pleasure?
Mosier moves the memorandum.
Schramm, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this item? Would Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this item? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
There are no YouTube comments.
Thank you. Al, roll call, please.
This is roll call on new business item 4-1. Minor.
Minor, aye.
Minor's aye. Mosier.
Mosier, aye.
Mosier's aye. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber.
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson.
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig.
Brunick, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. Excuse me. New business item 4-1 passes 9-0.
Number 2 under new business is consideration of memorandum 20-191 regarding resolution 20-72 for the purchase of city commission meeting room and public education government channel equipment. What is your pleasure?
Brunick, so moved.
Benson, second.
We have a motion and a second. Amy, do you want to talk us through what's on the table?
Sure, and I will ask Dwayne to jump in if you all have technical questions or if there's something he'd like to explain further. We've talked with the commission a little bit over the years about upgrading our meeting room technology here, which we need to do, as well as upgrading our PEG channel equipment. That has seen better days. We have the opportunity to do both. One opportunity COVID-19 has given us is the need to really address technology and not just, get by, but be a little more proactive. And so one of the things that was recommended to me was that we take this opportunity to make sure we have the best technology we can for this room, so that you all can communicate with the public and do your business remotely if necessary, but also have folks access you remotely in a way that our current technology cannot support. We are not required to bid this project out because it is technology, but it was recommended to us that we get 3 quotes so that we can show that we're, going through the proper procurement procedures. We have 2 of those quotes. We feel pretty confident about those. I shared those with you. We have not put them in public information because if we choose to go with one of those, we are going to be negotiating. They're both relatively the same amount in cost and equivalent in technology. We're still waiting on a 3rd quote. As you know, we need to expend the CARES Act funds prior to the end of the year. We didn't want to select a vendor and then bring it to you in 2 weeks' time because we just feel like we're running out of time. So we'd like to ask you to authorize an up to amount. So authorize up to $160,000 amount to be expended, knowing we are going to submit all of this to our CARES Act at the state and anticipate we'll get at least partial reimbursement for that, but no guarantees. And then go ahead with the meeting upgrade. So the recommendation is that we will select the vendor, not exceed the amount of $160,000, submit to the CARES Act program for reimbursement, see what we can get, and then move forward with installation. I will rely heavily on Dwayne Johnson and his staff for the recommendation. He's been digging into this really deeply and understands the type of technology that we want and is probably best suited for this building. I know there's some discussion about how big of an investment do we want to make in a building we don't own and don't know if we'll always be in. Completely valid, and I would say our technology is changing quickly enough that we should probably look at changing our technology and upgrading our technology more frequently in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years than we have in the past 5 to 10 to 15 years. So I do think that it's reasonable to move forward with an upgrade because at least in the short-term future, I think we will be here for some time. So I don't know, Dwayne, if there's something you would like to add to that or just stand for question. I did well. So thank you.
commission. Any questions for the city manager or Dwayne?
So what,
Just minor. I don't have any questions. I would just like to say, given the way we're running meetings remotely, since we started that in March, I think it's extraordinarily important that we do the upgrade. I've heard lots of things from lots of citizens in the last several months, but as we were getting started and having our health board meetings and so on and so forth, people were really frustrated if they couldn't access conversation and contribute. And so I think it's a fantastic idea, particularly if there's some CARES Act money that we can use.
this is Brunick. Can you kind of go through like a little bit of a list of things that we'll be able to do with the new service that we aren't able to do currently?
Sure. I'll let Dwayne cover that. I think mostly we'll be able to do what we can do a lot better, but I'm talking out of my wheelhouse.
That's correct, Amy. Basically, it will be like in kind replacement of our existing systems. All the equipment in this meeting room was installed in 2002, so it's 18 years old. During that time frame, the only things that we've replaced is we've added a new overhead projector and then also added a phone interface. All the equipment's analog, so as you notice, I have a whole bunch of equipment to try to bring that analog audio signal and video signal and get it back out to the web. The new equipment will live stream directly from the equipment. It won't require a computer or any additional equipment to be able to go out to the city's YouTube channel. We will continue to utilize a desktop computer to stream the meetings with GoToMeeting. However, the system will interface directly with the audio and the video from the room. So instead of having an additional web camera, it'll actually use the audio and video signal in the room. The overhead projector will be about twice the brightness. We won't probably have to turn the lights off to be able to utilize it like we do today. All new, everything in this room will be new. We'll go to a 16 by 10 or 16 by 9 display on the front, along with 2 large screen panels on each side of the commission room to help display the picture. And then we'll be putting 6 panels in the commission area, 1 between each 2 people, so that you'll be able to see presentations, things that are added. We'll also have the ability to do presentations without having to connect or furnish it ahead of time. Somebody will be able to come in and connect wirelessly to the projector. We'll be able to control which screens that shows on, including commissioners to be able to connect wirelessly, show something on their iPad. And then the biggest change overall will be the replacement of the PEG channel. And that's the character generator that will do the slides and the informational pieces that go out to the public. But the new equipment will also allow us to live stream directly to the PEG channel. So when we're doing the commission meeting, it'll play at the same time live on the cable TV stations. And that'll be a big upgrade. Our current equipment isn't as old as the meeting room equipment. I want to say it was 2012 maybe that we replaced that, so that'll be a huge change. The biggest difference is everything will be high definition, and then the audio will all be digital, so hopefully that'll help improve the overall audio quality and then also some of the experience both with people in the room and remotely. One of the biggest weaknesses is our meeting room works okay for everybody here. GoToMeeting works good for everybody remote. But when you mix the two together, it gets a little bit dicey at times. So hopefully that kind of summarized basically the differences between the two systems and what we can expect when we're done.
I would just make a couple of comments. One, I worked at the chamber, so I'm very familiar with the PEG channel, and I think if we can spare everybody out there from getting the calls from when that doesn't work, that benefits everybody, and in our attempt to make sure the public stays informed, especially now with everything going on, that's a huge deal in my book. And second of all, If we don't think it needs to be upgraded, then I would imagine everybody on this panel would go back to using their cell phones from 2012 or earlier, except for Charlie didn't have one then. But that alone, if you kind of just do the math to think to go back to 2008 or 2012 and the cell phones we had to what we have now, definitely illustrates the point of why this is needed.
The commission will also remember, those of you who've been on the commission a bit, we've had some discussion about budgeting for this, but it's always one of those, well, we'll kick the can down the street a little more because nothing's broken yet. But we've had some really close calls with things just not working. And Dwayne and his team have really done an excellent job keeping old equipment going and making it work for whatever we want to do. But I think, too, when you look at how important it is, the work that you're doing, and how important it is that we stay committed to our mission of being transparent and welcoming so that everyone has an opportunity, technology is forever going to be a part of that now. So I think it's kind of a reprioritization, and maybe it's something good that came out of all of this.
One other thing that I'd like to mention, and this is something I've not discussed with the other agencies or other entities in the city, but the new equipment would allow them to also live stream directly to the PEG channel if they chose to purchase an encoder. So it's just a simple box that would connect to their existing meeting room equipment and would also stream out live to the PEG channel. So that's something that if we go forward and that's something that's included as an option, I'll certainly reach out to them and share that information with them. And that piece of equipment wasn't terribly expensive. I want to say like $1,000 or $1,200. So just a small portion of the overall project.
So essentially, we could have an Al cam, and it could live broadcast what Al's up to in the finance office every day.
Does it automatically update me when I need it?
Any more commission discussion? Would anyone in the audience like to address the commission? Dave, anyone on YouTube?
There are no YouTube comments.
Al, roll call, please.
And this is roll call on new business item 4-2. Mosier.
Mosier, aye.
Mosier's aye. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber.
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson.
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig.
Brunick, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor.
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. New business item 4-2 passes 9-0.
There being no other business on tonight's agenda, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mosier.
Benson, second.
We have a motion and a second. Al, roll call, please.
And this is roll call on the adjournment of tonight's meeting. Schramm.
Schramm, aye.
Schramm is aye. Weber.
Weber is aye.
Weber is aye. Benson.
Benson, aye.
Benson is aye. Brunig.
Brunick, aye.
Brunig is aye. Sarda.
Sarda, aye.
Sarda is aye. Mybom.
Mybom is aye.
Mybom is aye. Minor.
Minor, aye.
Minor is aye. Mosier.
Mosier, aye.
Mosier is aye. Mayor Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Mayor Johnson is aye. Adjournment, roll call on the adjournment passes 9-0.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.